Yes, with my
Oh,
child.
that's
So,
beautiful.
I had him in a
Hmm.
whole Cubs jersey, everything.
Yeah.
It was
Hmm.
awesome.
Hmm.
So he
Gosh.
did pass away.
My
Um,
condolences. Hmm.
and the father was just so abusive afterwards, was way more
Mm.
abusive, let's say.
Mm.
I there was one time where I came and picked him up. I was 15 minutes late and he beat the crap out of me for it. This was the type of man that if I didn't have his plate hot and ready for him by the time he get to work, I mean come home from work, I was getting my ass beat.
Wow.
If I didn't give him three chicken breasts, if I didn't give him four chicken breasts and I only gave him three chicken breasts, I'd get my ass beat. There was for every reason I get my ass beat by him.
Yeah.
It was terrible. And now, mind you, I don't have family because in 2015 is when my father actually passed away.
Mm. Okay.
But I wasn't even talking to my dad.
Yeah.
I didn't have friends. I didn't have family. I'm in this city that I still don't know about.
Yeah.
So it wasn't easy to get away. And that's why I say, like, I am an advocate for people like domestic violence because,
Mm.
like, people don't really understand how hard it is to
Mm-hmm.
get out of
Mm-hmm.
those relationships. They don't at all.
Mm-hmm.
And, for a woman, they have to plot and plan before they can just up and go because,
Mm.
especially when they have kids, what are they supposed to do and walk away from the relationship and do what then?
Yeah.
So I eventually, well, actually, before that part, so I was plotting and planning.
Mm-hmm.
And this was probably about 9 months after my son had passed away. One
Okay.
day I woke up and I blew up. Like my stomach had blown up. And I'm like,
Mm.
do I have cancer or something? Like, what is this?
Mm. You
So
just
I
woke
went to
up?
the doctor. Huh?
You just woke up and it was like that?
Yes.
Whoa. Okay.
Yes. So I went to the doctor and they're like, hey, you're 32 weeks pregnant. I said, you're lying. I'm
Whoa.
like, where is Ashton Kutcher? Where are all the
You
cameras?
so
Like, I've
sad.
gotta be pumped right now. And they're like, yeah, 32 weeks pregnant. They were basically telling me that my child was laying on my back during my whole pregnancy, and that's why I couldn't see it.
What?
Yep. And then 2 weeks later, I give birth.
Stop
So, and then,
playing.
yep, I have my third kid. So now we're at three kids.
Three kids. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And probably 4 months into it, we
Mm-hmm.
had our own place, everything. I left for the store. Now, the guy that I was, her dad had a child that he brought into the relationship.
Mm.
So it was a total of four kids total
Okay.
because my son had already passed away.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I go to the grocery store, I come back, and all the kids are sitting outside on the porch. I go up to my kids, and my daughter's hands are swole, are just so swole. And I'm like, what happened? They were like, Malaya's dad beat us because we got into the crayons. I'm like, what? And I'm like, where is he? And I walk upstairs. This man is snoring. Like he just got off of work. Like he just, you
What?
know, not phased by anything he just did.
Mm.
So I had my oldest daughter's aunt call the cops.
Wait,
And
wait, he beat him because of they got into what?
they got into colored pencils without asking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
really stupid. So the cops come and I tell them the situation and I show them my daughter's hands. And you know what the cops said to me? They were like, well, where is he? I'm like, well, he's upstairs asleep. They were like, does he go to work? I'm like, yes. They were like, okay, well, we're going to leave. And when he leaves
What?
to work, call us and then we'll help you get out. Yes, they did not give a
What?
they did not care. Like it's so crazy like how messed up the system of the world is messed
Right.
up,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
and it's not everybody, but there are those people
There's
that
all those
ruin it
people.
for people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, they ended up, I ended up calling them. They came back. I moved out all my stuff out. But I had a period of time where CPS was involved.
Yeah.
I looked like this woman that didn't care about her kids. And it was the hardest time of my life. Like
Mm-hmm.
I, it's so easy for them to take your kids, but so
Mm.
hard to,
Get him
you
back.
know, get them back. Like I
Mhm.
literally went through it for 5 years. I just won my kids back 2 months ago.
Wow. 2 months ago?
Yes.
Wow.
So it was a 5 year period that I was going through this.
Wow.
So after that situation, you can do so much to me. I don't care what you do to me. But the
Mm-hmm.
second you put your hands on my kids, it's over. So I
Yeah.
left the relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and then I ended up with my fourth and last baby daddy, the
Mm-hmm.
father of my boys, my two boys that I have now.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm.
know, he was a best friend for years. And the funny thing is, his ex-wife
Mm.
was my ex's, the one that had beat my kids. My recent baby daddy's ex-wife was the previous girlfriend of the baby daddy that beat my kids.
What in the world?
Small world, right?
That's crazy.
So during that time, that was the time where like my kids weren't living with me and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had to fill a void,
Mm.
and I just I was doing everything I can to get money because, in CPS eyes, you got to have a house, you
Yeah.
got to have a job, you got to have all this and that. But the problem is CPS requires you to do so much stuff that within 2 years, I had 10 different jobs. I couldn't hold a job because of the
Mm.
requirements they made me to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the idea of OnlyFans came in,
Mm.
and Snapchat. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get this money by any means. I'm going to get a
Mm-hmm.
house. I'm going to have
Mm.
some type of income. But, it wasn't something that was right in the CPS. So I had to kind
Mm.
of like hold it back, hide it, stuff
Mm-hmm.
while maintaining a part-time job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My son's dad and I, we broke up, and I ended up, having my own place.
Yeah.
And I continued doing what I was doing. I have a great
Yeah.
job now. I'm a traveling GM for McDonald's. I'm a fixer upper.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I do my OnlyFans and I make money. Like when I really, really want to
Yeah.
focus on it, I can bring in like 10,000 a month.
Hey, I hear people get paid
They
from
do.
that.
They do. There
Yeah.
was a girl, that like by the age of 22, she was
Mm.
making 1 million and she bought her own house like at 22. Like you can make money like it's true. Sex sells.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
as females, like I always say, females should never go broke.
Yeah.
They can't.
And this is the thing too. Like the fact that you are so you own it. You don't sugarcoat, you don't hide what you do. You are very
For
much
what? Why
so.
why should you shouldn't be doing anything that you're ashamed to do. Why are you doing it
Mm,
then? If you're
mm,
not gonna take it and be proud of it, or not really be proud of it, but let it be
mhm,
known, then you shouldn't be doing it. If it makes you feel uncomfortable in any type of way, don't do it.
mhm,
Because it's just
mhm,
gonna destroy your character in the end. Like you're
mhm,
either built for it or you're not. And some people
mhm,
aren't, and that's okay. Like I
mhm,
don't judge anybody how they get their money like a stripper. I won't ever be a stripper, but
mm,
I don't like I'm not gonna say, oh, strippers are gross while I'm here being an OnlyFans girl.
yeah.
Like it's just, people, especially the way the world works now, like everything is so expensive.
Mm,
Some people just gotta do what they gotta do to make ends meet. Like I always say, people always wonder about why things gotta be 50-50 instead of like the old
mm,
days. Back in the old days, men were able to provide for
mhm,
women.
mhm,
It wasn't so bad. Now the cost of living, the way jobs pay,
mhm,
it's better to have two incomes.
mhm,
It's better to be equal. It's better to be 50-50. It's too difficult for the man to provide everything for the woman, just how the world works right now.
mm.
That's just
Yeah.
how it is. And I'm just a very open person about what I do. I don't care how people look at me because at the end of
Mm,
the day, it sounds fucked up, but I'm gonna be on the top, regardless if I
Mm,
have a partner on my side or not. I'm
yeah.
going, I'm going to leave a legacy. I'm going to make enough money to leave behind for my kids.
Mm,
Like, and I'm not talking about my kids got to do what I got to do. I'm going to make so much money and buy so much land that my kids will barely have to do anything. Yes, I want them to work. Yes, I want them to do stuff, but they won't ever have to struggle how I did. And that's
yeah.
all I want. I'm going to do everything I can and have as many incomes as I can legally have incomes, because you don't have to be a drug dealer to be rich. You don't.
Mm, mm, mm,
And I'm going to do everything I can to make sure my kids don't ever have to deal with what I went through as a child, or, even in my adult life. Like, my kids would never know about my life unless they ask me or
mm,
they read my book or something.
mm,
That's basically how I got to where I'm at and why I do OnlyFans. It's not, and it's not just because I'm a sexual person. I don't care
mm,
how people think about me, because at the end of the day, they're not the person, like, they're not the people's putting in my money, because the ones
yeah.
that don't care, they're the ones putting the money in my pocket.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I always say, what one person won't do, another person will.
Mm,
You can talk about my prices are too high or anything, but someone's going to probably pay double than what I asked for.
mm,
And that's it. And at the same time, like, I'm not just an OnlyFans girl. I have a full-time job. I can make businesses out of everything else I know how to do. I have skills in other things. And
yeah.
the thing is, I want to learn more. Like, I want to have traded skills too. Like, I want to do carpentry. I want
Wow.
to learn how to fix cars, all types of
Wow.
stuff. I
Mm.
literally want to gain as much knowledge as I can before I leave this earth.
Oh man. You you are probably one of the rawest people I've ever met, to be honest with you. Like, and the reason I say that is because again, I think we met today for the first time. You know what I'm
Okay?
saying? Yeah, we met today and already you've become this raw, this open, this honest, this transparent. And again, that's why I created my brand in the way that I created it, because I wanted people to talk, be able to come somewhere, to be able to share their stories, to be able to come together, share, experiences. And then for this particular podcast, my motivational podcast, I want, people to come on and share exactly what you just shared. And that is what got you to where you are today and what keeps you going. And obviously, the sole drive behind what I hear is your children.
Yeah. And that's really all that matters. I don't care about
Mm,
nobody else but my kids.
mm,
I could care less about what anybody thinks, whatever anybody has to say. Like, at the end of the day, my kids love me and my kids know that I've done everything I can to give
mm,
them a good life. And that's all that matters, because my kids, no one can top my kids' love ever.
mm, mm.
And that's real. Like, being a parent is the greatest gift I have ever been given.
Wow. Wow. Mia, I'm gonna have so much fun chopping this stuff up. Like, no, I'm for real. I'm gonna post the whole thing on YouTube, but I chop up pieces of content, like a minute of content. I post it on Snapchat and everywhere else. So yeah, I hope you ready to hear this stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm so ready.
Look at you. You had like no fear.
Nah. Oh my, I'm the girl who wants to jump out of planes. I'm the girl who wants to go
Wow.
swimming with
Yeah.
sharks. I'm the girl who wants to eat the deadly blowfish. Like,
You would, yeah.
you it's all you have to take risks in life.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh yeah.
always I always stand by the, do you want to be comfortable or do you want to grow? Because you can't
Absolutely.
do both.
Yeah, you can't do both.
You can't. You
Absolutely.
absolutely can't. You have to take risks in life in order to move forward.
Hmm.
You can't be comfortable being stuck in the same spot, because you're not going to go nowhere. It's just going to be a repeating cycle of hell.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Man, Mia, I can't thank you enough. I can't. You actually the first person to for me to do a podcast and my motivational podcast. So thank you, because it's an honor for you to be the first person to open this thing up. It's a new podcast I created, but to have you as the guest, to have you and your rawness, your story from the freaking Philippines and being in a stairwell in an alley to finding yourself in America, again being mistreated by your adopted parents, um, leading all the way up into today, and you having your children back after 2 months, after 5 years, you said of fighting,
Yep.
and you just
And
got them
got them
back
back 2 months ago.
2 months ago. How are they, by the way? How are they now that you got them back? Like, how have they been? Are they
We haven't
excited?
told them yet
Oh, you haven't told him yet.
because it's a 6 month process to actually have them back in my house living with me.
Okay, wow, wow.
So we haven't told them yet because I have not told them yet because CPS can be very sneaky, and
Mm,
I'm still walking on eggshells.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
I don't want anything to happen. And I had told them that they're coming home, and then for some reason, something blows up and they can't come home right away. That would be the biggest disappointment to them. And
Yeah.
I can't break their hearts like that.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm praying for it. I'm praying for it. I like again. I think that it'll definitely be seen through. But again, I'm rooting for y'all all the way. Like
Thank you. Thank you.
I am. For you to be fighting to get your children back like this, it shows a mother's love. It shows a mother's love, and I got nothing but respect for that, Mia. Man,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
absolutely,
And
absolutely.
thank you for letting me tell my story because I've been
Yo,
wanting to tell my story for a minute.
I told you this is what I do. Like when you had posted on your thing, like, hey, anybody want to, chat and whatnot. I was like, you know what? Yo, let me let her know. Like, this is what I love to do. So, it was perfect. I think it was meant. It was meant for you to get
Yes,
this out. Hmm.
I think it was because when you told me podcast, I was like, please let this be good.
Yo, let's go. And look at it. Look at this. Like, have you ever done something like this before?
No,
Wow.
I was nervous. I'm still nervous.
You still nervous? You nervous?
I'm like sweaty.
Yo. But you still doing it though,
But it was
even
good.
with
It felt good. I
it
felt
felt
good. And
good.
I hope
Hmm.
people will hear this. And, I want people to know that, no matter what you go through, you can still get on top of it all. Don't let your problems be your downfall because
Mm.
the only competition you have is yourself.
Wow.
Literally, there should be no other competition but the old you. And that's what you should be working on is being the best version of you. And you can't do that without fighting your past.
Mm.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, to this day, I'm still fighting my past and
Yeah,
still
me
dealing
too.
with a lot of stuff, but
Hmm.
I've managed it way better than I have ever have.
Mm.
And I think the whole, the not caring about everybody else's status has helped me a lot.
Hmm. Not comparing yourself. Hmm.
No, because why? Because everybody is different. You can't
Hmm.
compare yourself to
Mm-mm.
nobody because nobody is ever going to be like you.
Mm-mm.
And that's what people fail to realize. It's just they focused on the wrong things. And once you
Hmm.
realize what you actually need to be focused on, you won't be able to grow.
Mm.
And I'm not, even though I had a shitty upbringing, I still can admit to all the parts where I messed up. Because even in the relationships, you know, I I saw red flags, but I tried to be nice enough to not see the red flags, and
Mm.
I wind up, going through the shit I went through. Now, granted, it wasn't right what I went through, but there was a lot of things that I could have done to probably avoid the situations getting worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
As we all. Yep,
yes,
as we all. We all got those moments, those mistakes, but it's about learning from them. Yep, learning from 'em, getting up and dusting yourself off, man. This is Mia. Thank you so much. I definitely want to chat with you a little bit after, but I'm gonna
oh
close
yeah,
out the
definitely.
recording. Yeah, I'm gonna close out the recording. Just letting everybody know again. This is Mia. She came on all the way from Snapchat. I don't usually get people on my podcast from Snapchat because I'm just now kind of starting to post over there. but I'm so glad I ran into you. You actually are the first person, actually. So I'm super happy to have had you on. Guys, her story is incredible. I hope y'all take something from it. Leave comments below. You know what I'm saying? Letting her know what you want to ask her and whatnot. I'm sure she'll be able to see it as well. And she'll be able to respond too. But guys, thank y'all for this, man. This is Let's Just Talk Motivation. If you got a story, man, hit me up. I got two groups, two on Facebook, a public and a private group. Y'all can join that. More information about that is below. But until next time, man, thank y'all so much. Mia, you can stay on and we'll chat. But guys, until next time, thank y'all. Peace.